morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanama. Let's begin with the top stories so far. The fourth BIMSTEC summit concludes, unveiling an 18-point Kathmandu declaration, agreement forged to boost regional investment and sustainable development. Nepal and India dwell on bilateral relations and interest in the sidelines of the BIMSTEC summit, forge agreement on the service study for railroads linking Raksol to Kathmandu. The United States announced cutting off all funding for the UN's Palestinian Refugee Agency. Palestine says the move an assault against its people. And Nepal's do-or-die match against Malaysia in the ACC Asia Cup qualifiers delayed due to rain. Toss yet to take place. Let us begin with the national political updates. The fourth summit between the member states of the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation, BIMSTEC, concluded yesterday, unveiling an 18-point Kathmandu declaration. The summit basically focused on the strategic front along the security operation between the member nations. All the heads of states and governments of the 7 BIMSTEC nations stressed on the need of boosting connectivity in the region. The Kathmandu Declaration has highlighted the importance of developing mutual cooperation, trade expansion and road networks between the member nations and achieve a significant progress in terms of poverty alleviation by year 2030.
Geography, history, economy and ecological interdependence and people-to-people contacts serve as key enablers in our region to propel meaningful cooperation for our shared prosperity. This is my firm conviction that this summit has been a significant step towards making BIMSTEC a dynamic, effective and result-oriented organization.
The member nations have also signed on the agreement on expanding the cross-border electricity transmission line. Along with forging an agreement on the construction of the Buddha Circuit, the summit's participants welcomed the preparation for the BIMSTEC Tourism Conference slated to be held in Nepal in 2020. Likewise, the Kathmandu Declaration has envisioned the strengthening of BIMSTEC's organizational structure by establishing its secretariat and contact mechanism. Although the member nations gave significant importance to the expansion of the contact mechanism, an effective basis in this regard is yet to be determined. The summit, however, has made an effort with regard to preparing a roadmap to ease the cross-border traveling for citizens of the member nations. The BIMSTEC is basically the organization aimed at forging cooperation in terms of economic and technical aspects. The summit also incorporated the issue of transnational collaboration against terrorism and organized crimes owing to the Indian concern. Experts are of the view that the integration of what they termed blue economy and mountain economy, along with the proposal aimed at the benefit of landlocked countries among the summit's priority sectors, would help Nepal reap some major advantages in the coming days. The summit, however, remained entirely silent on the issues related to the bilateral tensions of some of the member nations. And meanwhile, a bilateral meeting was held between Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and Indian Premier Narendra Modi yesterday itself. The duo held a discussion at capital's Solti Hotel, the venue of BIMSTEC summit. According to the Prime Minister's press advisor, Chetan Adhikari, the meeting dwelt on the bilateral relations and interests of the two nations. At the meeting, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that the bilateral ties between the two nations would see nothing but progress in the days ahead. Meanwhile, the Indian Premier invited Prime Minister Oli to visit India to take part in the upcoming Kumbh Mela festival. During the discussion with his Indian counterpart, Prime Minister Oli also expressed condolences at the passing of the Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Premier Oli also informed that 51 of Vajpayee's poems would be translated to Nepali as a tribute to the former Indian Prime Minister. Meanwhile, both the premiers agreed that there had been progress on the projects operated under the bilateral cooperation in Nepal. They also agreed to move ahead with other pending projects. Indian Prime Minister Modi returned home in the evening yesterday itself. Now, an agreement paper has been signed between Nepal and India for the construction of railroads from Raxaul to Kathmandu. The agreement paper on technical service study was signed coinciding with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Nepal visit for the 4th BIMSTEC summit. Earlier, an agreement was reached between India and Nepal for the construction of the Raxaul-Kathmandu road during KP Sharma Oli's India visit in March this year. The officials from the two nations signed the implementation paper yesterday in the presence of Prime Minister Oli and his Indian counterpart. As per the agreement reached, the Indian Railway Ministry will conduct the technical study for the Raxaul-Kathmandu broad gauge railroad in coordination with Nepal's Rail Department. The agreement signed has entrusted the Indian government's Konkan Railway Corporation for the service study. India will look after the expenses for the service study, while India will also choose workers, administrative staff and technical manpower. It is estimated to take at least 4 months for the survey and technical study of 130-kilometer railway track from Raxaul to Kathmandu. Once the technical survey is conducted, it is expected to take another couple of years for the finalization of the detailed project report or the DPR. What appeared as a desperate attempt, the government initiated repairing the dilapidated roads in the capital, which were meant to be used by the VVIPs only on the eve of BIMSTEC summit. However, the failure to renovate the Jorpati-Gokarna road section rendered the cancellation of the retreat scheduled for the foreign dignitaries amidst the peaceful atmosphere of Gokarna resort. Going by the trend of undergoing renovation works at the 11th hour and only during crisis, the haste exhibited by the government during the recent BIMSTEC summit largely turned out to be meaningless in this respect. While monitoring routes that were supposed to be used by the VVIPs during the summit, Physical Infrastructure and Transportation Minister Raghuvir Mahaseth had declared that there would be no potholes left on the roads of the capital before the event started. Even Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli had directed to conclude the renovation works by setting the deadline of 50 days. Overnight, blacktopping of some of the roads in the capital was carried out, targeting the BIMSTEC summit. But the failure to repair the road section from Jorpati to Gokarna not only foiled the government's plan to organize retreat for VVIPs, but also compelled to amend one of the important schedules of the high-level international visit. As the date and venue of the summit were already fixed last year, the government had enough time to undergo renovation of the roads in the capital. However, the trend of initiating any important work only at the 11th and merely for the sake of show-off rather than out of any genuine motive for the public's good literally backfired this time around. Besides tarnishing the nation's impression in front of the international community, the government's hurriedness in terms of the preparation for the summit turned out to have practically gone into vain in the eyes of public as well. The incident has also publicly uncovered the government's tendency of renovating roads and infrastructures only for the show-off to foreign dignitaries, but refraining from taking effective initiative for long-term outcomes when it comes to issues of public interest. And moving on, the adverse living condition of flood victims of Saptakoshi River in Saptari district has continued unabated. The flooding in the Koshi River has affected over 600 families of Hanuman Nagar's Kankalini municipality and Tilati Koiladi village municipality, as the flood water has not receded for the last 5 days. Many of the victims have been forced to live in sheds and makeshift tents. The victims have complained that they have not been able to get enough food as the flood destroyed the food grains stored in their houses. They have also complained of drinking water scarcity. The human settlements of Saptari were flooded after India diverted the flow of the Koshi River using a pilot channel. Yesterday, we had asked the locals of Kalikot, far western region, what difficulties have they been facing with the declaration of municipality before building its required infrastructures. In our Public Voice segment, let's have a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
नगरपालिका छ यसमा कुनै किसिमका पनि पूर्वाधारहरू छैनन् यतिसम्म कि मेयर उपमेयरहरूले बस्ने आफ्नै भवन अथवा आफ्नै कार्यकक्ष पनि छैन भाडामा बसिरहेको अवस्था छ
उद्योग धन्दा कल कारखाना विद्युत सडक यस्ता खाल शिक्षा स्वास्थ्य जस्ता पूर्वाधारहरू नबनिकनै नगरपालिकामा जुन घोषणा भयो जनताको आय आर्जन हुने खालका क्रियाकलाप नभइकनै यो नगरपालिका घोषणा भयो अनि जनतालाई चाहिँ विभिन्न खालका करहरू चाहिँ तिर्नुपर्ने अवस्था सिर्जना भयो जनताको रोजगारी छैन जनताको आयोजन छैन उनले कर कहाँबाट तिर्ने यसले गर्दा जनतालाई चाहिँ शास्ति भएको छ
खाडाचक्र नगरपालिका यो जिल्लाको सदरमुकाम भएको नगरपालिका हो यहाँ 4-5 वटा वडामा चाहिँ न बाटो छ न बत्ती छ न नगरपालिकामा हुनुपर्ने पूर्वाधारहरू तयारै छैनन्।
यो नगरपालिकामा कृषि सम्बन्धी यो कुनै सानोतिनो उद्योग धन्दा सम्बन्धी कुनै किसिमको कार्यक्रम छैन। हामीहरूको किसानको कुरै सुन्दैनन्।
कर भनौँ, यो कर घर कर भयो, तब त्यसपछि गएर अन्य करहरू हामीले एकदम महँगो भयो, यो तिर्न सकिँदैन। नगरपालिका अहिले बन्नै थिएन, यो बन्नु पनि आवश्यकता छैन भन्नेसम्म जनताहरूको भनाइ छ।
नेपाल सरकारले बनाएको आचार संहितामा पनि नक्सा पास गरेर भवन निर्माण गर्ने कार्य अहिले पनि लागू भएको छैन। सामान्यतया नगरपालिकामा विद्युत, खानेपानी, मोटर जस्ता पूर्वाधारहरूको कुनै पनि एउटा चाहिँ यथोचित व्यवस्था नभइकनै नगरपालिकाको नामको मात्र नगरपालिकाहरू घोषणा भएका जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई।
नगरपालिका बनाएका छन्, त्यसमा जो जनताहरूले पाउनुपर्ने सेवा सुविधाहरू हो नगरपालिका स्तरको त्यो छैन।
बाटोको ठुलो समस्या छ। मेरो वडा नम्बर 9बाट मान्म सदरमुकाममा आउन्जेलसम्म लगभग 2-3 घन्टा लाग्ला आजभोलि। बाटो भत्किएको छ, बिग्रेको छ।
It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, how confident are you regarding the arrival of railroads from India and China? Your options are A, confident, B, not confident, C, hopeful but not assured. The voting for that question is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. With that, it's now time for the sports update.
Sports news.
Nepal is playing host Malaysia in the third match at the ACC Asia Cup qualifiers. The match is being played at Malaysia's Kinara Oval ground. However, due to continuous rain, the toss has still not taken place. With 2 losses in the opening 2 matches, Nepal faces the challenge of winning the remaining matches to keep their chances alive for semi-final berth. Nepal has never lost to Malaysia in a 50-over encounter. The two nations have clashed against each other on 6 occasions, with all the matches going in favour of Nepal. The last time they played against each other was in 2014 in a Division 3 match, which Nepal had won by 36 runs. And that's all for the moment. Keep watching Kantipur TV HD for more news and entertainment. Good day.